All right, folks, happy Friday. Welcome on back here to our morning meeting, Friday, for February 21st. Great to have all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Robert Gillis, Margaret Michael, got Andrea, Kathleen, John, Chuck, got Leda, Grant, Patrick, got a lot of our students joining us here at TGIF. Actually, in fact, before I shout all of us out on social media, if you're inside our live trading room, actually, to begin, I made this post in our other tab, the general discussion tab. If you hop over to that other tab inside our live trading room, just answer that for me, please. I was asking, hey, what's everyone's weekend's plans? What you got going on for this weekend, folks? Anything exciting? Anything otherwise relaxing? Let me know in this general discussion tab inside our live trading room, at least. Great to have all of us back on social media, though. Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. At CybertradingU is the handle. Be sure to hit the follow or subscribe button down below. But I'll tell you what, for a Friday, kind of a crappy, slow pre-market. Honestly, there's garbage out there. There's nothing worth my time. A couple stocks I'm hoping that could set up for a nice move, at least once the market opens up. We'll go over this Unity trade, at least from yesterday. This was not really one of the ones I was referring to about pre-market here. It is up a little bit higher from yesterday, though. So more so from yesterday, at least, Unity led to this big pop after 8:30 in the morning. It was earnings. They ended up having some pretty good earnings that came out, led to a nice slingshot, in fact, where I guess it did pull back initially, but then it broke out completely afterwards. This could have been based off of the conference call that normally is scheduled after the earnings release itself. So, they probably whispered some good words into the market's ear here for you. Led to a nice little pop at the time, but it just kept going, right? Going into the market open, little pullback at least initially, but then higher low, pushed back up, another higher low at least later into the morning. And this has developed into a pretty good swing trade, but even back from a month ago, I heard some unusual options activity out there on Unity, to a little pop up at the time and back within this channel again here. So see it's starting to break out once more. Could we put this on our watch list? Sound issue again from Brian and Gillis. Uh-oh. I think it's a daily occurrence now. Give me a quick sec, folks. I'm just going to log out, log back in, but either you make me paranoid or I got some real issue going on here. One sec. All right, just set back up for everyone inside our trading room here. One moment. All right, take two. We'll try and keep it rolling, at least for right now, folks. So otherwise, just join us on YouTube if you happen to have this issue inside our live trading room, at least for now. We'll get everything up and going, at least in a bit. Can't keep going back and forth on the tech stuff, you know what I mean? So at least for right now, we are going to keep on our side list, at least for right now. Good swing trade for the meantime, though. TUYA. Nice little pop-up this thing had heading. Kind of a late bloomer into the morning. This thing wasn't really as attractive to us at first session, but at least for early afternoon, led to a nice breakout off of ran up towards 430 this morning, up even higher. As long as the order book fills in for this trade, looking at level 3, looking at level 4, of course, you want to make sure it has a good spread filled in order book. So I'll add this to our watch list, at least for now. Start off on the TUYA, putting this on our main list. Last one, at least from yesterday. Stock from yesterday popped and got halted a few times going up on the way back down. We're done with it for now. We're not trading this thing here today, but XOS. The thing is on this type of trade, though, is that once it begins to make this pop and move up, it's tougher to just jump into. You got to make sure you see it shake around and consolidate. There was a trade from last week, I recall, something stupid, some crazy stock. It kept getting halted up and up and up and up. I told you point blank, I'm like, it's impossible. Don't feel upset about missing out on that move. That's literally impossible to jump into unless if you're just purely gambling. Unless if you are purely gambling, we're here to make an intelligible decision. What this means is that this ended up popping after the halt, but it shook, it consolidated. It gave you actual time to realize support. Rich had called out the halt print at the time, I remember, at 525. So that price held pretty nicely, and then off and running it went again. So nice little push up on XOS, but what goes up does come back down. These day trades, these low float stocks that pump up, they typically come back down same day, if not the next. So this obviously came back down same day and dropping lower now. So we're done with this one. Richard calling out edit, EDIT moving again. We have our eyes on this stock more as a swing trade, but off of that 150 level, I think it's going to pull back even lower. Nice little pop, though. Good call out at here at the time. It's actually up 20% technically from yesterday's close, but I feel like this could be a potential head fake. I'm going to come back to this, though, in just a bit, Richard. It's a good shout for the meantime. We'll see what it's doing in just about 5 or 10 minutes from now. Just double check here my scans. We're going to run across the percent gainers list and losers list here. All right, so this is what I mean where I said we had a crappy pre-market, unless if you're up at the crack of dawn here before dawn even rises, right? And 4:30 in the morning. We're not doing that. So at least at 7 o'clock in the morning, this MLGO just was very flat. After 8 o'clock, it started to rev up a little bit, but even now, like I called out 340, it needs to hold over 340 if you're looking for a real move on this trade later on today. Hey, that's one thing, but the longer we're watching this stock do nothing, you're wasting your time, and time is money. So could I put this on our list? Maybe. Otherwise, right now, let's see what else we got. NAAS, another one, garbage. Up early at like 6 in the morning at pop, but it's dead. I'll come back to it if I need to. Now, Celsius. Let's talk a little Celsius here. I don't have my coffee this morning. I got to fill up, but you know what? Hey, I was a little pessimistic about Celsius with good reason. This is an absolutely shitty chart, at least from the last year and a half, from basically March time, but it dropped from 90 all the way down. It's tough to catch a falling knife because look how far this eventually dropped off in due time. It eventually popped off of good earnings, but that we're going to begin to see potential for big try and hold. Try and hold would be the key word there. Let's just go over more to the weekly chart. Get a nice horizontal line right here. And it's well over that now. It's well over that now with this earnings pop from yesterday. But if we continue to see support hold around this 2650-ish, 27, which, hey, off good earnings, they bought out another energy company, Alani Nu, if you're familiar with them, basically eating up market share in the energy drink business. The purchase of another company normally leads the stock to drop off in price because they're spending cash, they're spending stocks to purchase this other company. But they had blowout earnings, really good earnings out, at least from there. There's also some investor conference, something going on with Celsius today. They might announce some product line new. So this could very well become a great swing trade again. But let me tell you, it was not a good swing trade as soon as it broke this support back around, July time? I mean, once it retested, broke below that, your next big support, unless if you want resistance to try and flip, I guess you could look for that. But otherwise, it was around this 26. And after this, you weren't looking down until like 15s or 17s. So for anyone that was holding on for a little while on Celsius, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for retail that ended up having the chance to recover. I'm not a hater. I'm a lover. It's hugs and kisses from this side of the field, folks. But I don't want anyone to be misled. For anyone on social media, like following, some account, the more that they're talking about a stock dropping 50%, 60% over time, not only are you wasting time, once again, you're wasting money now in this case with this thing just sinking. So I hope this becomes a good swing trade. I truly do. I'll put this on our watch list for right now. Definitely as a day trade and potentially a swing trade. But as a swing, you do want to see it pull back a little bit more, retain support over time in the next 1 to 2 weeks. All right, we keep it moving. Hollow, another crappy move here. At least, we're looking for a push over 150. If it's not going to make that big move shortly after, it's not worth it. So LTRY, same deal. A lot of crap out there, and then it kind of leads. See what I said, Richard? You know what I mean? I had a feeling this was going to be a bit of a head fake, but I did want to come back to it. I was hoping I'd be wrong a little bit there. I like the stock. I just think it's going to pull back more towards that 150 we originally called it out from. All right, let's keep it moving, though. So we got TUYA, we got Celsius, 2 stocks on our watch list, at least for now. STAI, it already popped and dropped yesterday. Another mover from yesterday, took off from 350-ish, essentially, broke above resistance there at the open. But ended up taking off for just about $1.50, $1.75 to this one. I want something with a better pre-market trend, something that hasn't popped and dropped already, Oh, Coinbase. Let me get to Coinbase here. So we'll talk about Bitcoin, of course, but otherwise, more so, it's based off of Coinbase. I remember this like the back of my hand. This was probably 4 or 5 months ago, maybe more. timeline I get mixed up, but remember it like the back of my head nonetheless. The SEC issued a Wells report investigation against Coinbase. This was like half a year ago or something, and it led to a big drop off at the time. Well, they just basically dismissed that Wells report, I believe, this morning. So just to go back on what Rich wrote earlier, from the Wall Street Journal, Coinbase says the SEC intends to drop the lawsuit against the crypto exchange, subject to the approval of the SEC commissioners, to jointly stipulate to the dismissal of the litigation with prejudice. Bunch of fancy words in there. All right, so at least otherwise, we're going to put Coinbase back on our watch list and looking at Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin moving back up towards that 100,000. Told you not to worry. Obviously, this whole time we have not been breaking lower. Don't be your hair out yet if you haven't really broken one wick here. Lows roughly around, shook back up, built higher. 95 loosely speaking. Now pushing back up. Now my prediction about by the end of February, remember this, folks, if you're Michael John, Richard Kathleen Barber, and live trading room. I've been saying this for months now, and I'm still going to say it because I might be wrong, but I've been saying live trading room back on social media. Pardon that for a quick sec, folks. Let's wrap up this meeting here while I can. Otherwise, though, I was talking about Bitcoin, and Coinbase will put on our main list the other Bitcoin related stocks. There's no need to just yet. CELH up a little bit here today. Riot. I'll take a look on the works. Well, you get the man himself, Fausto, back next week. He's on vacation. So finishing up, he'll be back to save me at least by Monday morning. But if you're Chuck, Kathleen, any of our students right now, just stay right here. Stay tuned. I'm going to just jump off social media, take care of you folks right now, and I'm going to get the meeting back going again.